I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
There we are.
I got you. Chris, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Brock? How are you, brother?
I'm doing great. Good to see you again.
You as well.
I am ready to talk new music. That's one of my favorite things to do with you. And before we start, though, hold on, because I have some congratulations in order. I was looking at my cheat sheet. Let's see. Billboard #1 mainstream rock airplay artist of 2024. Mediabase is #2 active rock airplay artist of 2024. Billboard recently announced Daughty as number 89 on their list of top 100 artists of the 21st century, along with naming their debut self-titled album Daughty 23 on their list of top 200 albums of the 21st century. Add that to the laundry list of previous achievements. What would the young man, the young Daughty, the world was introduced to almost 20 years ago, think about all that, my friend?
He would be like, no fucking way. Nah. There's too many other cooler bands out there doing big things, man. There's no room. Honestly, dude, I've never been more excited to be in my band than I am now. It is crazy, man. Everything you just mentioned is like, it's still like doesn't quite compute, and I just feel super grateful, man. I feel super grateful.
And we figured we would. You're one of the most humble rock stars out there, which I know seems like an oxymoron, humble rock star. But I think, on the precipice of 20 years, because you think that debut album came out in 2006. I mean, you're rounded on that 20 years at this. It's got to be very rewarding, very fulfilling, also crazy at the same time.
It is crazy, man. I am feeling my age for sure. I just turned 45, and I cannot, like, it doesn't make sense to me that I was 26 when all this started.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, man, it just feels like we're just starting. It feels like I feel like we're putting out our best work of our career, and that feels good to be this far in the game and feeling like you're just now doing your best work. So I'm just stoked. I'm stoked to be here.
That is interesting you bring that up, because you're obviously a veteran in this league. And also, side note, by the way, you look better at 45 with your shirt off than I did at 25. So thanks for that. My New Year's resolutions are not paying off after seeing your music videos. We'll talk about that later. But, it's maybe that confidence that maybe you got that chip off your shoulder. Not that you really had one, but at this point, at 45, at this mark, and now putting out in your mind the best stuff you've done. What's kind of behind that, Chris?
I think you just said it. I had a lot of skin to shed, man. I had to grow up. I had to go through a lot of life, man, to get to where I'm at right now. And to this version of myself, and I feel like there was a lot of posturing going on early on in the career, and I think any 26-year-old dude who's got stardom thrown at him can probably have a tendency to go down that route. And I think I was placating a lot back then to the people around me, the labels, the other different formats, and kind of lost the vision, so to speak. And it kind of took a bit of a wake up call in 2020 to realize, like, I'm not doing what I love, man. I'm not doing what I really want to do here. And, I was no longer on a label. I was independent, and I was like, oh, I don't have anybody telling me I can't. No, there's no rules here. I even contemplated, like, man, should I change the band name? So yeah, I think I'm just in a place where I'm really grateful to still be doing this. And I'm super grateful that rock welcomed us back with open arms. I knew, or I kind of was a little worried that it wasn't going to happen in the capacity that I hoped it would. And then, fast forward to 2024 and to get that, number one most played active rock artist was like, I thought it was a joke. I thought my manager, when he sent it to me, I was like, nah, it can't be real. There's no way.
It's a dick joke if it was, I tell you.
Total dick joke. This is where you could have been.
Yeah,
see?
Well, I'm glad you see. And now we are, and here we are in that 20. And you brought up, where you're at in 2024, and the music you're putting out now. And we got at the tail end of 2024, Shock the System Part 1. And usually when you see a Part 1, that means that's there a Part 2, which we know is coming. And I mean, Chris, just as well as anyone in the industry, just a normal 13-track record is hard. What was the mindset behind making this a little bit more of an epic and a larger scale record for everyone?
Well, I think it started with the fact that we were taking forever to make the record. And we had like 3 songs that we were like super stoked on, and Artificial being the first one where we were like, we kind of pumped the brakes on the rest of it because we were so we put all our focus on getting that one right. We were like, we got to go now. Like, we got to put this out now, even though we are nowhere close to finishing the record. And then you start promoting that, and you start, booking shows, and time gets away from you, and you're like, yeah, we still got a record to finish here.
Right.
And I didn't know how we were going to meet the deadline. So I had a meeting with Big Machine, and they actually approached me with the idea, like, what if we split it into 2 parts?
Yeah.
And it's still one body of work essentially, but we're doing Part 1 and Part 2. And at the end of it, it comes together and it's one record. And I was like, we can do that? Like, yes, let's go. And it kind of took the pressure off of the back half, and we got that first half done. And I just finished vocals on Part 2 yesterday. So, awesome. I'm really excited with how it's turning out. It's definitely steeped in darkness, and it definitely connects to the first half, but it's also very different at the same time.
Oh, I love it. Well, I know we're in for a treat, and it's fun that tease, that anticipation, that audio blue balling you're giving us as we wait for the second part, and that will be released in 2025. So I'm sure we'll be talking more once that finally happens.
That's the hopes. That is the hopes.
All right.
Yes.
But we're in the first part of the year. We're hoping in 2025. But it'll
put it this way: if I have my way, it will be released this year.
Beautiful. Let's hope. Let's talk music videos. Along with this, obviously, audio journey that we go on, we have a visual journey, and Pieces, Artificial, were big. I mean, visually, production-wise, very big music videos. And then you had the most recent one for The Dam, which is this epic sci-fi. Other than jumping off an aircraft carrier into an ocean swimming with dolphins, you went big with this one. That's got to be a lot of fun now at this point. I know you've gone out through your career, but that's a big video to get behind. This
was the most intense, brutal, toughest video I've ever shot, and the most rewarding, the most fun. And I have so much respect for actors who do this for a living, and stunt people who do this for a living, and especially when it's on location, like the desert. No green screens here, by the way. This was all on location. It was out in Apple Valley, which is like 2 hours outside of LA, and it looked like hills have eyes, man. It was like I felt like we were on another planet. Like it was about 104 to 108 any given time. We couldn't shoot in the middle of the day. We had to shoot in the early morning, like start the day at 4 a.m. and end the day at 9 p.m. and have a big window gap in between. And we did that for 3 days in a row.
Wow.
And it was windy. It was hot, sand blowing in your face. And it was all the things that a desert brings, except we didn't have any real coyotes or anything, but
good.
But it was fun. And I remember I had to keep telling myself, you asked for this. You wanted the desert. You wanted the desert. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It felt like it felt like what I imagined, like making a cool like Dune or Mad Max movie would be like.
It's got that vibe, and I said if people haven't seen it, it's already got I don't know how many millions of views, but it's just it brings the music to this whole new level. And again, that audio journey you go on, and now the visual aspect of it, it's a lot of fun. It's big production, and I think a really cool addition to what people have already got with this first part of this record that we're seeing. Again, Shock to the System Part 1. It's out now. I always ask this track. I've asked you this before on previous works. I kind of reworded a little bit. Do you have a favorite track / maybe a track that really speaks to you on this work, this body of work?
Man, yeah, I mean all of them really, but I think Pieces is kind of the mantra. It's like, man, life is hard, and we all go through pain. We all have things that can break us and shake our world, but you don't have to stay there. You get to make that choice to move forward and learn how to live with these events that happen in your life, and learn how to live your life now and move forward and find peace in that. And also the Damned, just being accepting of everything could go to shit and there's nothing I can do about it. So, I think we all kind of deal with those thoughts and emotions, and life isn't easy, and I try to live by my own words and through these songs, and stay strong through all of it.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing what you've put out there, pen to paper, paper to studio to all of us listening and sharing that journey and all of that. And I'm just so happy for you, man. The success is so well deserved. And again, now with our latest work from Daughtry, Shock to the System Part 1, Part 2 to come. And if he has it his way, it'll be in 2025. Before I go, two quick things. We got to play rapid fire, obviously.
Let's go.
I also want to let everyone know you are featured in this month's Inked magazine. You got a piece in there for your blackouts.
Yes.
So if you're a fan of Daughtry, you want some more Daughtry in your life, also love tattoos, that's on stands now. Very cool. That's a fun little thing to add to the resume too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man.
That's cool.
That's a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, let's do a rapid fire because I got to get you out. I don't want to get Terry mad at me and get you in trouble.
All right.
So let's start simple. Sneakers or sandals?
Ooh, sneakers.
Billy Ocean or Billy Idol?
Ooh, man, I ain't hating on Billy Ocean though, man. Billy Ocean, that dude could sing, but I got to go with Billy Idol.
Queen. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
I love Caribbean Queen, but I mean the bleach blonde rocker, he's fantastic. New England clam chowder or a creamy tomato bisque?
Ooh, I got to go with that tomato bisque.
Very nice. Very nice. With like a fancy grilled cheese. Can't go wrong.
Fancy ass grilled cheese with it. Let's go.
That thick white bread. Would you rather see a little gray alien or a centaur?
I got to go with the gray alien.
Yeah. Yeah. Any alien experiences in your life real quick?
Yeah. I had, I saw a UFO when I was 10 years old, maybe. Oh yeah, dude. It was crazy.
Let's bookmark that. We'll save it for the next interview when we get together for part 2, because that's a long conversation. All right, last one. A Chuck Norris roundhouse at 100% power or a Mike Tyson punch at 50% power?
We got to go with that Chuck Norris 100% power roundhouse, man.
Him in some Walker Texas Ranger action jeans. You got to do it. You got to do
action jeans all the way, dude.
Oh my God. Chris, thank you for humoring me. More importantly,
absolutely, man.
Talking new music. Shock the System Part 1 from Daughtry. It just was so happy for you, man, and we really appreciate the time.
Appreciate you, Brock. Thank you, man.
All right, buddy.
We'll talk soon.
All right, take care. See you, bud.
All right.
Bye.
Later.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Brock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.